Good afternoon. You are watching City News 24/7. I'm Melanie Ng.
And I'm Faiza Amin. An 11-year sentence has been handed down to disgraced fashion executive Peter Nygard. He was found guilty last year on 4 counts of sexual assault.
Our Afua Baah is at the courthouse. Afua, gathering reaction in the courtroom when news came down. What was it all like?
Good afternoon, Faiza. Good afternoon, Mel. I can tell you that this has probably been a sentence and a decision that has been a long time coming, and survivors have been waiting for this for decades. You can call it a fall from grace for a former Canadian fashion mogul, as we just mentioned, Peter Nygard, sentenced to 11 years in prison. With the time that he has served, that means that he will now just be spending just under 7 years behind bars. He's also facing a 10 years weapon ban and is also set to be on the sex offender registry list for about 2 decades or so. Now, when it comes to the justice and how he came to his decision, the defense was trying to go for 6 years for this sentencing, while the prosecutors were trying to go for 15 years. What the justice was saying is that some of the defense that came through when it comes to Nygard's age and health, Nygard's team was saying that some of the things that he's facing, including type 2 diabetes and glaucoma, the justice was saying that that isn't necessarily enough to sort of sway the decision or to change the decision for that matter, and that the correctional facilities will be the one that will have to oversee his health moving forward. I should mention he is now heading to a federal correction institution. Beforehand, he was serving his time in a provincial institution, and that is actually where he wanted to spend the remainder of his time behind bars. When it comes to his age, when he was taken into custody, he was 79 years old at the time. They were saying that by the time that he would be spending this time in his behind bars, he would be in his mid-80s. Again, the justice saying that that was not an excuse as to bringing down the sentence that he is now having to serve now.
He's hopefully going to federal. He still has to go to Montreal, and the thing is that he's been so cushioned in Winnipeg. He had extra bedding, extra everything. He's never been in general population. And with everything inside of me, I'm hoping that he will finally get to general population, and then I can feel like there's justice. Because right now there's been none.
The justice also recounting some of the horrific graphic details of what some of the survivors had to go through, and some of them actually mentioning that they appreciated the wording of how the judgment came down, because it reaffirmed what they were trying to say as to what they went through, the horrific nature of what they had to go through, and almost the pain that they had to go through when it came to reliving those moments, when they had to hear again the pain and the details as to what some of those survivors went through. We also heard from Nygard's defense. They are saying that Nygard plans to appeal his sentence and his conviction, and that he also will do his best to defend himself in the next trials that he is set to face. We should mention that he is facing a number of other trials in other jurisdictions. The next one that's coming up is happening in Quebec. He still has one to face in Winnipeg, also facing an extradition in the U.S. But again, some justice served today for those survivors that have had to go through just some terrible, horrific moments. Again, Nygard now facing 11 years behind bars, time served just under 7 years now behind prison. I'll send it back inside to you.
A difficult day, really, as the sentence is handed down. Afua Baah, thank you so much for this.